情けない奴らめ。情けない奴らめ。情けない奴らめ。情けない奴らめ。 情けない奴らめ。情けない奴らめ。情けない奴らめ。 情けない奴らめ。
So model art is quite good. So, honestly speaking, I think the glue that holds the entire team together is the Witch Queen. Because her unique passive is this: if all allies have the power attribute, grants Crimson Blood to defender allies at the start of the battle. And Crimson Blood is, if HP is equal to or lower than 30%, grants immortality for a turn. And who's the defender that you use? Black Asta. Black Asta's unique passive is, if HP is equal to or lower than 40%, applies anti-magic to self, which Witch Queen can very easily accomplish with her skill 3. If HP is above 40%, removes anti-magic. And anti-magic is, per 1500 defense, grants 15% increased damage dealt, and status ailments immunity. So not only that, but upon gaining anti-magic, inflicts taunt on all enemies for a turn. At the start of a rave, grants all allies status ailment immunity for a turn, which is his E2, which I have E2 of right here. Oh wait, no, that's in the second passive. The first passive is upon gaining anti-magic, inflicts taunt on all enemies for a turn. Whoopsies! So, when Witch Queen uses her skill 3, she reduces a defender's HP. Like, sets the HP of one ally with the highest defense to 30% for max HP. Which Black Asta really wants, so he can enter his anti-magic state. While he's in his anti-magic state, he inflicts taunt. And because he has status ailment immunity and immortality, he can just soak in all of that skill 3 damage any attackers use. Also making Julius quite useless, because Julius, with his skill 3, inflicts stun status ailment on an enemy for a turn. But because, again, Black Asta has status ailment immunity, he doesn't get stunned, which is amazing. Now, the other character that puts this team together is actually Charlotte. And the reason being, her skill 2, Thorn Garden, deals damage to all allies with rising vines covered in thorns, inflicts a reduced defense level 3 debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, which is nice. But the real kicker is this: 100% chance to inflict a mark on an enemy for 2 turns. Grants an extra turn if an enemy with a mark is defeated. So typically speaking, you use her skill 2, then you use Witch Queen, and then when it's Black Asta's turn, because he's in his anti-magic state, you use his second skill, which is Asta creates a black hurricane while holding the Demon Slayer sword, dealing damage to all enemies. If anti-magic is present on self, attacks after inflicting barrier removal on a designated enemy, and if anti-magic is not present on self, grants all allies an increased defense level 3 buff for 2 turns. The more important part is damage to all enemies. Granted, you could also just use Black Meteorite to kill one enemy outright to be able to use his skill 2, but being able to use his skill 2 and getting rid of 2 enemies and then getting 2 extra turns is nuts. And then the fourth slot is whatever. I finally have Finral up and running, and I'm testing him. So far, he's working pretty well. I have been using Noelle for a bit though. For 2 reasons. 1, I like Noelle, and 2, Noelle applies Barrier, which is super useful on a character like Black Asta. Just for that small bit of insurance. So, yeah. Again, the glue that holds all of this together is the Queen of Witches and Charlotte. So, Mono Red is pretty freaking correct.